Hello everyone, how are you going? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a couple weeks since you've seen a bit of a game week review, game week preview from me, but we're back. The busy period is finally finished and we can make our move back in FPL. I'm hoping you guys have been alright over the last few weeks. You can see my rank over the last few weeks, it's gone up and down, sort of just inside the top 100k, just outside the top 100k. We had a red arrow this week. You can see red arrows across the board. 52 points. We'll get bumped up to 54 once the game week is over. But this was the side that got the job done this week. Big risk. I ended up rolling my transfer. You could see I had Haaland as a bit of an issue. I knew I had Sanchez as an issue and Areola as a problem. But I had two moves in mind that I wanted to make this week. So we'll get to them in a second. But again, the whole defense, cleaned up for us this week. Most people had a combination of Porro, Saliba, Gabriel, a Newcastle defender, or Simicast. So I think everyone sort of got 6 to 8 points from their defenders. But where I got hurt this week was no playing goalkeeper. Brought Sanchez in initially for this fixture run here. Everton and Sheffield United, Wolves, Palace, Luton. Would have been ideal. Again, clean sheet for Chelsea. 6 points here from Sanchez would have been brilliant. Again, puts us up to 60 points, and my safety score was 61, so we probably would have just held inside the top 100k, but it wasn't to be. Again, some disappointing results this week. Son had a couple chances there against Nottingham Forest, which would have been nice for him to take. Darwin, we'll talk about him later. Salah, frustrating against Manchester United as well, and Hwang has been pretty good for me so far. I've had him the last few weeks. I think I brought him in against Arsenal was my first week, and then I got a 10-pointer out of him straight away, and then he's had two pointers in a row with some interesting fixtures up until game week 21, and we're going to talk about the structure of my team in a minute as well. Gordon just keeps returning, 10, 2, 2, 6, 13, 7. Very, very happy with him at 6.2 million now. We've made quite a bit of money on Anthony Gordon, but the big one was Cole Palmer. Came in for me last week, got a 1-pointer, thinking, what have I done? And then he comes and gets a 14-pointer, 90 minutes, goal and assist, very, very high XGI, 1.4 XGI in that game against Sheffield United, and with this fixture run, he's going nowhere whatsoever in our team. So that is the situation. We had no Trippier as well, which we knew. I had enough cover, which is why I didn't make a transfer Friday night. In hindsight, should I have made the goalkeeper move a week early? Maybe, but we'll talk through my transfer strategy. I've made 2 already this week. Leno's come in. He was a goalkeeper I was looking at. It was sort of between him and Dubravka. Again, I don't know how long Dubravka's going to be the option at Newcastle for. So Leno, we just know is the number 1 keeper at Fulham. Again, their defence has been relatively solid over the last few weeks. They get Burnley, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Everton, Burnley, Bournemouth, Villa, Man United, Brighton, Wool. He's just a good enough set and forget goalkeeper. You can see, he's going to get you 2-2, 3-3, 2-2, 1-6, 9-3. He does make saves as well. So you're looking here 7-5, 9-4, 4-4, 5. He makes a lot of saves for Fulham. I think he's one of the top 2 goalkeepers, him and Pickford at the moment, in the game. So very happy with Leno. But the other player we've brought in this week is Ollie Watkins. Has been someone that's been hurting my rank for quite a while. You look at game week 7, around when we wildcarded, a 9 or 5, 9, 23, 5, 11, 2, 2, 6, 5, 11, 1, 2, 9. Again, what I like from Ollie Watkins, everyone said he was going to be a minutes problem, but from game week 5 has played every single minute for Aston Villa. That's what you want. I know he's not on penalties in this blank game week, though. He gets Sheffield United. I just think he's a no-brainer, really, just to get this week in. Darwin's been really, really frustrating to own as well. Again, he lives to fight another day. He's, not really done much here. He's getting a lot of 1-pointers because of the amount of goals Palace are conceding. But I don't know. I could play one of Saliba or Gabriel, and if I am going to play one of them, it's going to be Saliba because of the bonus points, but I'm torn at the moment. So let me know in the comments what you guys would do with that slot. But I don't think there's a whole lot more I can do with my team this week. I'm very excited to get sort of Pedro Porro at home to Everton. Again, big potential for attacking returns. We brought him in last week. He got us 5 points against Newcastle. We got 8 points against Forest, but he's gone 5-5-0, 5-5-8. He's just attacking returns, absolute monster. He's positioning on the pitch is what's really important as well. He gets really high up the pitch. If you don't own Pedro Pedro Porro. He's still only in, 21% of teams. 1 in 5 teams have Pedro Porro. I know the price is getting up there, pretty quickly, but very, very solid option. But I'm very, very happy with the structure of the team. I think Hwang's a good chance of scoring against Chelsea at home. I also think Palmer's a chance of getting a penalty against Wolves. So, I see that game being a 2-1. So could Palmer and Hwang both return? Maybe Trippier again. I'd be looking at a return from Trippier from right back. Luton are going to sit in. So hopefully Trippier does get forward and put some good balls into the box. Everton, solid defensively, which might mean that Son might struggle, but again, I'm all right with that. Salah gets Arsenal, but at Anfield, typically Salah's pretty good at home, but the captain armband goes on Watkins. I really don't want to play Archer, as you can see, since the 9-pointer he got against Wolves. There was a 12-pointer in there. He's gone 2-2-1-2-2-2. He is playing very high minutes at the moment, but you can see his XG is quite low. He actually did look good against Liverpool there, though, but Sheffield United just aren't great, and I don't expect him to get much against Aston Villa, so I really need to look at moving this team into a 3-4-3 at some point, and that's what we're going to do now. So that's pretty well going to be my team ahead of Game Week 18. I've got the Game Week 18 team here ready on the hub. If we move into 19, this would be my team with one free transfer in 19. So probably going to end up rolling. You can see Pedro Porro has Brighton away, which I'm fine to make that call there. We've got Guehi playing Chelsea. He can hit the bench. We've got Saliba, Trippier, fine. Son, Salah, Palmer, Gordon, Hwang. That's all good with me. But in this Game Week 20... we're going to need to get rid of 2 of Salah, Son, and Hwang so we can get rid of the third one in Game Week 21 so we're not caught out. So obviously on my bench, I don't typically want to use any of these guys, but we want to start looking at how we're going to restructure our team. What I can see here is that Gabriel and Saliba have Fulham, Crystal Palace, and Forest. What I would probably look to do from the start is you're looking at either Bowen or Saka coming in for Salah, which I think is a pretty easy Saka move, but I don't mind the Brighton, Sheffield, Bournemouth fixture run there. So they go Brighton, Sheffield, Bournemouth, but then Man United, Arsenal. So just for argument's sake, we're going to look at Bukayo Saka coming in there. We still get 3 million in the bank, and then we want to replace Hwang Hee-chan with a midfielder for the 4-week prediction. And again, you can kind of have your pick here of midfielders. Now for me, you're kind of looking ideally around not much more than 7 mil. I think I want to kind of add Bowen in at this price. So if we do go with Bowen, we get 1.9 in the bank. Then we need to move Son on the week after. So I think you're looking at probably Saka and Bowen coming in. 1.9 leaves us with 6.4 to replace Archer at some point. But if we make those transfers, we save the plan and we move into Game Week 21. Let's optimize the team here. I think Gabriel, you'd think, would come into the team. Maybe not. I would definitely say Gabriel plays over Trippier. We save that. We lose Son. So we've got one transfer here. We're going to get rid of Son. Again, you could look at some options here. Let's bump it up. This AI suggested is Bruno as a Sterling, but let's look 4-week projection. Again, I can't go another Arsenal midfielder because we have too many of them. Bruno Fernandes gets Spurs, Wolves, West Ham, Aston Villa. It's not the worst run for Bruno Fernandes, and it does make us some money to restructure the team. You could look at going double Chelsea and Sterling. Again, you're getting Fulham. Are you getting that first? So you'd miss the Luton game, which is a bit annoying. Again, Martinelli, you can't go with. Kulusevski's not a bad option at the moment. Or you could look at a Richarlison. So that's from the Man United fixture. So they go Man United, Brentford, Everton, Brighton. So, Spurs are getting a good run of games there. And obviously, Son's not going to be in the team as well. So if we go with just Richarlison for argument's sake, you've got Richarlison in there. You're going to make those transfers. Let's save the plan. Going into Game Week 22, again, we've got one free transfer. You've got Nottingham Forest double up away from home. You probably want Guehi in there as well. Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Newcastle. Again, you're not really sure what you're doing. Archer at this point, 9.2 million. I would be looking at someone like a Solanke coming in, and then you've got a really good structure there. So that's sort of just the thinking that I've got. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of money to make back at some point. You know, you want to probably move Saka and someone else like a Saliba out of your team in order to get, Salah. Obviously, you're not going to do it this week, but there's ways to get Salah back in your team. It would involve a few transfers. It's probably a Richarlison down or a Solanke down to Acuna as well, and you do that over a few weeks. So that's just what I'm thinking. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Hopefully, you've made some solid transfers this week. I'll see you guys hopefully towards the end of the week with my final team review. But once again, we're back here. Make sure you subscribe for more content.